Fighting gentlemen, once again, happy holidays to you people. I hope you all had a happy new year, just like I did. But, you know, hey, whenever you're busy as me, I probably would have more videos up if I wasn't as busy as I've been lately. Schedule's been slightly clearing up, but, you know, the holidays is always pretty crazy, and people, if they're not busy before then, they usually are. So, we survived the Mayan apocalypse, obviously. Otherwise, you know, unless I'm in some parallel universe to somebody. We survived that, and I was going to make a video basically laughing at everyone about that, but, well, it's not really necessary. It's been about 3, maybe 4 weeks since that whole thing has occurred. Now, what happened in the meantime was towards the end of the year. Well, Mega Man Cross Street Fighter came out, and a lot of backlash has been issued around that game, mainly that it doesn't feel like a real Mega Man game, and my main issue with it is that it was moving incredibly too slow, and the configuration processes on it were not really manageable. They said they're going to have a patch with it, and I hope it fixes all that, but I got really nothing bad to say about it. I just don't know why there's so much backlash from everybody else. Maybe what I just said is the reasons why. Moving on, we had a lot of bullshit as far as politics is concerned all throughout the last year. Whether it be the Trayvon Martin thing or John Boehner's fucking proposal, which is blatantly disrespectful. You'd never see that sort of thing happen with any of the rest of the presidents, but I guess they feel because he's black, it's okay, right? Aside from that, we had the whole thing with Psy, which I made a video on, and it's like, how and why do people get so caught up in what other people think in terms of who they are instead of what they're really saying? And then it was said so long ago, I doubt this guy even thought that he would be in the position he is now as far as fame is concerned. So what do we have to look forward to this year? Well, we got 3 movies, the Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter movies, or whatever it's called, The Last Stand with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this will hopefully be the last movie he's in because he's not much of an actor. And props to the editors, costume designers, but most especially the makeup artists, because let's be real here, man. The Terminator is getting old, and we know he's already very old, and the way he appears in the commercials for that movie shows him as being relatively young. And then there's one other movie, and then there's the Johnny Depp movie. Hopefully that'll be good, but I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of getting tired of seeing the Johnny Depp movies. Maybe this one will be good. He's playing a different kind of role here. Kind of reminds me of how he played that role of Jack Sparrow in the Pirates movie, but the last one was not all that great, which, you know, no wonder they haven't made any more since then. Number 4, I mean. And then we got a crappy TV show to look forward to, which, if you're anyone like me, I don't really watch TV anymore, but from time to time when I do, I'm always reminded of why I don't watch TV like I used to anymore. Because at this point, if I'm not watching the news, I'm not watching it. Maybe there's like some important thing, an address with politics, or maybe a good performance, or maybe an award show, but I'm not watching TV in the meantime. And the TV show I'm talking about here is The King of the Nerds. And unfortunately, the problem I have with this show is the same problem I have with The Big Bang Theory. You know, it's just another one of these shows that tries to commoditize on the idea of, oh, well, we're marketing ourselves towards nerds and blah, blah, this, blah. They did that with G4, and, well, look what's happening to it. G4 will pretty soon be no more. Sometime this month, I forget the actual date. I made a video on that as well. But G4, the type of nerds they market themselves towards, they don't come off as being realistic, especially in the show King of the Nerds. How can you have a show that's going to be a competition oriented around nerds? And these aren't even the likable nerds. These are the nerds that most people aspire themselves not to be the ones that we probably were once before. Be proud of yourself and who you are, but at the same time, most nerds don't have any social skills. So is this going to be, you know what I'm saying, this is going to be a circle jerk of intelligence? How is this show going to pan out? Because it looks pretty lame, and just like with the Big Bang Theory, I don't see any of these characters being relatable. We don't have any good TV shows anymore. I mean, there was Will and Grace. Say what you will, but I loved the show because the characters were relatable. If not in my own sense, I'd be like, well, those characters are like me, or I have friends that are like that, whether they're gay or whatnot, even though I'm heterosexual. But with King of the Nerds, these guys, it's like they just put them in front of a camera. And they're like, well, if we wear glasses and talk like this, then we're definitely nerds. No. I'm not looking forward to anything this show has to offer, but I'll keep an eye out on it just in case I'm pleasantly surprised. But let's be honest here, people. What you see is what you get. It's pretty much the rule of thumb when it comes to today's media. We don't really have any TV shows anymore. It's reality TV shows, which are pretty much TV shows without the filters that typical TV shows like Friends and Will and Grace or Frasier had. Instead, we take those filters away and play the footage at a faster frame rate than most people are used to on television. And there's your reality TV. Hopefully, it's a little too early to call, but it doesn't seem like this year is going to start out as strongly as the last year ended. It started out crazy and wild, at least for me it did. The same way it ended, crazy and wild, and on my end, cold. Maybe not as cold as it could be, but lately it's been kind of cold down here in Louisiana, so I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit too pessimistic, but I don't see much else. Let me know what you think. Brother and gentlemen, out.